morning, good morning. Ooh, excuse the state of me, I look hideous. Today we're doing my monthly, let me just get rid of that. Oh, I just sold something as well, that was nice. Oh, pair of wedding shoes, lovely. Well, that was a nice distracting start, wasn't it? Yes, it's my monthly video. I did this last month, it was the first one, my sort of chatty makeup, get ready with me type of thing. Certainly not any form of makeup tutorial, because that's not me. And I got really good feedback from it, and people suggested that I made it a monthly thing. So yes, that's what we're doing, making it a monthly thing. And I'm filming this on Friday. We are going away tonight. I'll tell you what, I will start while I talk to you. I'm starting with this one. It's the Clarins Beauty Flash Balm. I'm using that as a primer at the moment. And excuse my wet hair, by the way. I've just filled my hair with product, some root thickening boosting spray, which I'm sure will do absolutely nothing. And I like to wait for it to just settle in and dry a bit. So I tend to do my face and then dry my hair and then come back and do my eyes. So yes, Clarins Beauty Flash Balm as a primer. I never really know if I like this or not. I think it's okay. It certainly as a primer, it certainly holds makeup in place quite well, but I'm not sure it does any of the brightens and tightens. I'm not sure it does that. It's certainly quite sticky, but I think it was a freebie with a Clarins purchase. I certainly wouldn't have bought it, but it's okay. I don't hate it. That's a positive review, isn't it? I don't hate it. I'm using the NARS Sheer Glow foundation, which I'm not actually that impressed by. It's in the shade Light 2 or Mont Blanc, one of the two. And I'm mixing it up with a little bit of my usual Rimmel BB matte, which I love. I use this by itself at the beginning of the week. Hate the fact you have to pour it out as well. Why does it have a pump, for God's sake? The amount they charge for it, you'd think that they would manage to put a pump on it. It's so messy. Oof. I wouldn't buy it again just because of that, but the colour's actually a little bit pale for me, but if I mix it with this, at this time of year I can get away with it. So yeah, we'll make a little mixture of those two. And it seems to last longer if I use a bit of the Rimmel in with it. I found it broke up really badly when I used it on Monday. Within a couple of hours I could see it breaking up around my nose and settling in my wrinkles and just generally not being that great. However, having used it since with the Rimmel BB, I do kind of like it. The state of my beauty blender is disgusting. It's my last one. I must. Every morning I use it and I think I must buy some more. And then by the time I get to the computer I've completely forgotten and I don't remember again until I pick it up the next day. So must do something about that. Yeah, we're going away tonight. We're going up to Somerset to Axbridge with Ashley's mum and with my parents as well. It's their Christmas present. We bought them a night away at a hotel with dinner included. I say hotel, it's more of a sort of pub with rooms, I think. But yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. So hopefully this makeup is going to stay on all day and I'll just have to touch it up this evening. I don't really want to start again. Concealer, where are you? The one I wanted isn't there. This is what you get for not preparing for a video in advance, you see. You can't find any of the stuff you need. So we'll go with the Barry M concealer in the, what's it called, light reflecting something or other. I actually prefer the other one that I had, but this will do. And I don't have massive bags under my eyes, but I do a little bit, sort of more dark circles really, and then just down the sides of my nose as well. I'll put that. I've just seen the other concealer, look, right in front of me, the one I wanted. Hope it's not going to be one of those days, I really do. I always find concealer blends better with a finger than a brush, just my personal preference. had my brows HD'd this week. The dye never seems to last long. I love the shape of them, and I love how they last quite well in terms of the shape and the arch and the regrowth being quite minimal. But yeah, I'm not impressed with the dye. It never seems to last well at all. What am I rattling at? I ran out of my powder yesterday, so I'm starting a new powder today, which is a Laura Mercier one. I don't know if that's going to focus, because that might focus. Or it may not. Oh god, that's struggling, isn't it? It's a translucent one, loose setting powder in translucent. Oh, and it's got a sticker on the inside, which I'm going to have to get my nail underneath. It came with a little powder puff, but I'm not a massive fan of powder puffs, so I'm going to leave that where it is and go in with probably this big fluffy brush, which it's an unbranded one, so I don't know what that is, but oh, this brush is still wet. Not good. I washed some brush. I've swapped over to a kabuki of some description. I think that might be a Bare Minerals one, but I can't remember, and it's not written on it. When I watched last month's makeup video around the back and edited it, the strange things I do with my mouth are just most bizarre. Right, that looks slightly more human. Quite like that Laura Mercier powder on first use. I think that looks nice, doesn't make my pores look enormous, doesn't look cakey or anything. My skin's quite dry at the moment, but yeah, quite pleased with that. First impressions are pretty good. Where should we go next? I've been using this, the Freedom Pro Glow. I've been using it as sort of an all-over bronzer, but I don't know if it's meant to be a blusher. Pro Glow Pur, it's called, and you sort of, I don't know if I'll be able to swatch that so you'll be able to see, but yeah, it comes off as a very pinky colour, which you wouldn't kind of expect from the colours in it, but I'm kind of liking it. I just use it with a light hand. I will show you now rather than just talk about it. It is quite powdery. It kicks up quite a lot of powder. I don't know if you can see that, probably not. But I just go sort of all over the outside of my face just to add a bit of definition, and underneath my cheekbones a bit with that. And it just gives a bit of colour and shape to the face. I don't know whether to use that one as a... For blusher, I've been using this Colourpop this month. You probably can't see that because the name has come off the top. It's the Super Shock something or other. Super Shock Cheek in Holiday. And it's a cream blusher. I found the way that works for me the best. I was doing it with my fingers, but I didn't get on particularly well with that, so I'm using an e.l.f. stipple, a small stipple brush, and I just dab that into it. And you don't need loads of this. It is quite pigmented, and a little goes quite a long way. I always find it difficult to judge blusher before I've done my eyes. It looks as though I've put loads on, and then when I've done my eyes, I come back to it and think, oh, I need more blusher. But we shall see. We can adjust it later if necessary. What next? Eyebrows. Still using my Vivo eyebrow kit, which is all completely broken and smashed to pieces. I really want to get a new brow product. I quite like this powder. As usual, I'm using the first two colours there, the ones that you can see that I've hit pan on, a mixture of the two. And yeah, I like this product, but I've had it for years and I really fancy a change. I'd like to try a gel or something like that rather than a powder, just for a change, and because I'm so fed up with this broken packaging, and it was only cheap. I think I've had my money's worth out of it, to be honest. And with that, have I got two odd eyebrows? Always difficult to tell. With that, I'm going to go and dry my hair, and I'll be back with you in a minute. It's sort of half dried now, and I've got something in my eye. That's never good when you're trying to do your makeup. Right, eye primer. Still using the same one as I was using last month, which is the Absolute New York. Half the stuff has run on. I can't get this in the UK anymore, which is a bit gutting. I originally had a little sample of it in a glossy box and loved it, and was it Beauty Bay, I think, in this country started doing it, and I was able to get it from there, and I went to buy some more and can't get it anymore. Couldn't find it anywhere in the UK. But you can get it in America or get it off eBay, but the shipping price is just stupid. And it's not an expensive one. I mean, it's less, pretty sure it's less than about £8, but I'm not paying silly money for it. Anyway, right, eyeshadows, my favourite bit. This month I have been using this palette, which is a Wet n Wild one. That will focus, and it's called Petal Pusher. I didn't like this, but you can't get this in this country. My friend sent it to me from the States. That's the colours. And it has the things pressed into it, brow bone, eyelid crease. I think they're all completely wrong, but never mind. I didn't like this when I first had it. I struggled with it, but again, using it for this makeup use-up project, I've kind of got used to it, and I've made lots of different looks out of it. I'm wearing a purple top tonight for when we go out, so a purple look is pretty good. And I'm also using this Clarins colour, which is a ombre matte in 08 Heather, and that is the colour of that. I have some Clarins points on the website to use up, and I bought this at great expense. I think they're around £20 for a single eyeshadow. And is it worth £20? No, definitely not. Is it a good crease colour to go with this palette? Yes, absolutely. Right, let's see if the rest of my brushes that I used last night have dried. Yeah, this one definitely feels like it has. So this is the Zoeva. I think it's known as a blending brush, eye blender, but I use it. It's sort of a pointed, fluffy brush. And I'm just going to go into the crease and above the crease. Obviously I've got quite hooded eyes because of my age. So pull the colour up above the crease so you can actually see it when your eyes are open. And I'm going a little bit into the outer corner as well with that colour. That's those done. The light's awful this morning. The very dull grey day. Looks as though it might rain. I think some places in the country are getting snow. Right, I'm then going to go onto the eyelid, the mobile lid, as the beauty vloggers, that's the word I'm looking for. The beauty vloggers call it. And I'm going to use the Sigma Firm Shader E57 brush, which is just a flat, fairly short brush. And I'm using a mixture of the two top colours there, the sort of very, not glittery, shimmery pink, and the flat, sort of very pale pink. I find the glittery pink or the shimmery pink is a bit much by itself, so just adding a little bit of that flat matte pale pink calms it down a bit and also makes it last longer. That's those two. I'm going to start by darkening up the outside with this colour here, which looks a bit scary but isn't actually too bad. It doesn't come out as dark as it looks in the palette, and it's got sort of a goldish shimmer in it. I'm going in with that same brush I used for the crease and just going to start darkening up. The outer 7, as Nisha from Sugar Puff and Fluff, who does the best makeup tutorials, calls it. I can tell I'm going to be sorting this lot out with a cotton bud shortly, because I've got it in all sorts of places that I didn't want to have it. I never said I was a makeup expert, people. And I'm definitely proving that I'm not. It's looking quite horrific in the camera. It looks much better in the mirror than it does in the camera. Right, I'm going to tightline the upper waterline with this matte black from the W7 in the Buff palette. I have got a defining colour on the bottom left there as I'm looking at it, might be your right, but that one's a little bit glittery, and because I want my makeup to last all day, I'm going to use one that I know lasts a little bit longer in that upper lash line. I've got quite a few things on my beauty wish list at the moment. I've just gone straight onto my eyelid with that. I really want to try the Revlon Colour Stay Foundation, which I've talked about previously. See if I can sort that out. Yes, it's better. And I also want to try, what was it I just said? Something or other that I wanted to try. Can't remember, but I've got a list of 3 or 4 different things that I do want to give a go. Excuse me. Right, next I'm going to go in with this purple colour down here. And I'm using the Real Techniques accent brush, which is a tiny little, fairly flat brush, which you probably can't see. And I'm going to line underneath the eyes with that. And also just about halfway across on the top lid, just for a bit of definition. I don't know if this is the best brush for the job. I don't feel like I'm getting... It's all very hit and miss when I do makeup. And I'm going to pick a fluffy brush now. This is the Ruby brush. Don't know where that came from, but it's a big sort of fluffy, fairly loose brush. And I'm going to go in with that same purple colour, just using a very light hand, just to again darken up that outer V. My eyeshadow halfway down my face now, lovely. Honestly, this is probably more eye makeup than I'd normally use during the day, but as I said, because I'm doing a sort of day to night look, I'm probably being a little more heavy-handed than I normally would be. Right, I've gone too low on that eye, but that's alright, we can clean that. So for mascara, I'm going to use the 17 Falsify HD mascara. Oh, for goodness sake, focus. There we are. I love this mascara. I love the brush. It's a hard plastic bristle brush, and it stays all day. It does take some work. It's not just a slap it on quickly and go mascara. It's a buildable one, and it pays with this one to be a bit patient and to build it slowly. And I think, oh, lipstick. We will have some Clinique Chubby Stick. We're using a Clinique Chubby Stick, and this is in the shade Whopping Watermelon. nearly at the end of this one. My lips have been really dry the last couple of weeks, so I've been attempting not to use things that are too harsh on them. This is quite moisturising. Right, I think we're done. The final thing I do is, as usual, look at the state of this. My Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder, the lid has broken and it's only quite new, so I'm going to have to fix that. I just go in with a little bit of that under the eye just to stop my mascara giving me panda eyes. And I tell you what else I'm going to do is Benefit High Beam highlighter. I'm just going to use this is a tiny little sample size. I'm going to pop a bit of that on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to put a little bit on my brow bone on each side, just for a bit of light reflectiveness there. So this is the final look. Doesn't look too bad when I do it up close. I do look very pale. I think I might just put a little bit more blusher on, but I'll do that after I finish because I feel like I've been talking for a long time. Hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I'll be back next month with another makeup chat. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.